Hello, I just wanted to jump on because I'm reading through some comments that are happening currently, and I'm just wanting to speak to a couple of points. The first one is this idea that as spiritual light workers, those holding the keys of ascension and remembering why we're here, should only stay in high vibration and not go into depression or sadness or not go into any of the fear. So I just want to speak to that for a moment, because on the one hand, of course, our job is to maintain a certain frequency. However, as all frequencies do, including the Schumann resonance, there is a dipping and ebbing and flowing, and each one can get progressively higher if it's allowed to drop down as well. So just like our heartbeat has a rhythm and our inhale, exhale has a rhythm, there is a rhythm to this thing that will ease the process for many of us, because we're trying so hard to maintain a high frequency that anything that pulls us down, we can become feeling very like hopeless or like we're not doing our job and start like beating up on ourselves even more. Or just feeling like, just screw the whole thing, I'm just kicking back and disengaging and not being part of it right now. So those are two different polarities that could be kind of self-defeating if we remember that we're doing this rhythm thing. So the highs and lows actually can all be contained within what we would call high frequency, because we're living in a different octave of life now. Pardon me. And something is definitely moving through the throat. Going with it. So as we accept the codes to live at a different octave, and that's what this is, we're going up the musical progression. You can call it an evolution of consciousness, you can call it ascension, you can call it ascension, you can call it awakening. All of this is equating to another turn on the spiral of the opening of the one to remembering itself, or however you want to say it, returning home to God. There's so many different ways. But on every single one of those journeys, there is still this ebb and flow. Perhaps until we're vibing so high you can't even see that, and it looks like a solid line. You catch that with me? Like, there is this polarity dance that maybe in your life has been very high and low, as we're experiencing the totality of what we can as a human. It's actually part of why we came here. We wanted to experience highs and lows. We wanted the emotional spectrum that being human offers. But now we're in the phase where we're becoming like more heightened awareness, because it's always been happening. What we're seeing, just our awareness is heightened. So we're very like, almost like overly examining of the highs and the lows right now, which there's nothing wrong with that, just to be aware that we're doing that so that we can again come into the witness, the observer, third eye, the pineal, the ibis single, and we can see the play that we're in, the divine Leela, the playing of the gods and goddesses, which we are here. And that it is like a comic tragedy, a tragic comedy, it's the divine romance, it's the war movie, it's all of this wrapped into the greatest story ever told. And our job is to bring through what is like the life force that's coming through us and address it to whatever is in front of us, and to do it the best of our ability. Like I like to say, if you're sick, you might as well just really hack up a good one, you know. Or if you are, hilarious, like all the way, like just keep going. Or if you're gonna have an orgasm, make it like the best one of your life. Like we're hitting this 100% novelty point that Terence McKenna used to talk about. That is the high frequency newness of every moment, and it's becoming very quantum, where it's like things just popping in for us to put attention on. And I guess what it's coming to is whatever your response to that wants to be, that's yours to do, like do it great, like do it full body. And then when the next one pops in, be just as willing to shift and be in that space. This little guy has been flying around my corner over here, which in a way feels like some little message flying around, like that we're not trying to get, but here it is. Always looking for the totem and everything. Yeah, so that's the first point that I wanted to make. And the second point is a reiteration from something others have been saying that I've listened to and I agree with, and I wanted to echo, that truly we have all made a choice at this point in the game, what our role is right now, what we came here to do, what is our mission, our soul contracts, and they exist on both sides of the big polarity game. But they're all working together for this increase in the octave, this ascension, this leveling up of Earth, this awakening journey. Just think of the flower and the petals, how one goes and then the other ones go, and then by the time the middle ones go, these other ones are sort of dying and falling off, and there's this whole beautiful wave action that's happening on planet Earth right now. We're just seeing it like in time lapse in a way, like things seem sped up as we get close to this point of singularity. That my teacher Almin would call that portal between time. That we can just keep diving through and being in the present moment with as much honor to our individual vibration as we do just surrendering to this thing, and taking note to maybe not jump back on the wheel or the figure eight or the cycle with a programmed response. So when I hear try to keep your vibe high, I think we're also just saying to each other, let's remember that we're in charge of the program right now. And so like steer your own ship. Like we'll all meet up as one on the other side, but right now steer your ship and make it through this. You're doing a great job. Steer your ship and make it through this, and we'll all meet up on the other side, and we'll all meet up together in certain locations as we feel to need to and are required to by our frequencies needing one another. So these are blessed times. These are profound times. These are times we'll never forget as long as we are in this plane of existence, because of the profundity of this passing from the old to the new and how stark it is. This is something we get to watch in real time, online, on the headlines, in front of our face, moment by moment. I don't know that we've ever watched a process like this so closely with our awareness particles, if you will, our consciousness. Consciousness has been this aware. So it's miraculous. Find the miraculous and take the pressure off yourself. Allow yourself to be with what is, and the divine timing will unfold and is unfolding and has already unfolded perfectly. Thank you for your service.